Welcome to another edition of the Tom Greene Show. This time, remember if you watched my NHL show where the YouTube is clearly something going wrong with its HD sensor. Adam's trying to figure it out, so is the company. So for right now, it's just me on ship for the college football shows. And this week I brought in the NFL analyst, Cole Martins 57 or 88 or whatever.
Twitter, it's at Cole Martins 57. Instagram, Cole Martins 88. Yeah.
But it's going to change to 88 soon.
Hopefully we'll get it to 88 soon. But it's Cole Martins 57 on Twitter. Well, look for me. There you go.
So there you go. We just had him on the NFL show. So if you're not an NFL fan, I suggest you become an NFL fan and watch our NFL shows because it got a little crazy this week.
Even though I'll admit college football is a lot more entertaining to watch.
We're glad to have Cole on this show. So, this week in college football, a lot of big games, I must say. There will be one undefeated that goes down.
Miami.
As Miami plays Florida State.
That'll be a great game. That one, that's a close game for me. Even though I've seen Miami struggle the last couple of weeks, I feel like they have.
They almost blew it against Wake Forest.
Wake Forest, then I think the week before that was North Carolina when I thought they were going to lose to North Carolina. They somehow came back in that one.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're playing a Florida State team here who's, man, I tell you what, those guys, they've been playing amazing. I didn't think Florida State was going to be that good this year, especially with a freshman quarterback on there.
Jameis Winston.
That guy is incredible. I can't believe that people are saying he leading the Heisman chase right now. I believe they said he was second.
Well, that one thing's for sure. If you've watched the Red Greene show, you know. Jameis Winston is a lot better than Winston Rothschild.
Very true. And in this, I don't know why every analyst in the college football is saying that this game's going to be close. Truly, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be a close game at all. I think Florida State is a way better team than Miami is. We've seen the last 2 weeks, Miami struggled. They have not played well, and truly, I think Florida State's going to run this game, as I think they're going to win 42-21 or...
Okay, decent pick. Florida State has clearly proven that they're a great team under Jimbo Fisher. Didn't matter with Bobby Bowden leaving 3 years ago, I believe it was. Miami, although they're undefeated, they're kind of like how the Dolphins were, as they were 3-0, but I thought they played more like a 2-1 team. Miami is playing more like a 6-2 team, I think. As Wake Forest proved that they were beatable, so did North Carolina, and Florida State proves and beats Miami. I'm going to say 28-13. A little lower score, but I do think Florida State wins. And this one I didn't even write, nor did Cole. So we're just going straight offhand. But anyway, this week is the big game between Michigan and Michigan State. Before we get to that, does Alabama play LSU this week?
Alabama doesn't play anyway this week. I think they got
Alabama's bye week. That is why I've heard nothing about Alabama LSU. Because with the time change coming up this Saturday, it was always this week that Alabama played LSU. I don't know why I've associated it with the time change, but I have. But anyway, to the big game. Michigan, the 21st ranked team in the BCS poll, against Michigan State, the 22nd ranked team in the BCS poll. Both teams State has played a little better than I thought. Michigan not as good as I thought. An evenly matched game. Let's go to the NFL analyst right here for his thoughts.
Well, like he said, Wolverines going into this game, they have really not looked that impressive at all, as they've had some struggles. As if you witnessed the Penn State game where I thought they were going to win that game, and I was at work and I turned off my phone thinking they had it, and come back and find out they lost. It was amazing to me that that happened. As now they came off a bye week, and I believe it was the last game one we went to.
Yeah,
it was against. I can't remember the team they played.
Indiana,
yes, which was again showed that their defense is just not playing like they should be at this time. As Indiana scored, what was it, like around 42?
47,
46,
I think.
you know, something
63 to 47.
That's what it was. I knew it was over 100 total, but again, the Michigan defense could not really prove anything in that game. As the offense, though, Gardner,
Yes.
quite amazed by the way he played in that game, as he didn't throw an interception, didn't turn over the ball either in that game.
The one lost fumble, which I don't think it was really necessarily his fault.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault, I don't believe. But that offense is looking fine. Now you go to a Michigan State team who, on offense, they struggle a little bit as they're trying to find a little bit. I believe Cook is somewhat giving him an answer this year, as he's had a couple of good games now for that team. But besides that, the offense is not doing so good. But you have a Michigan State defense who's, I think they have at least half their total scoring points this year, as they've been a great.
I think.
Great. Somewhere around that. They scored quite a few points for this Michigan State team. And like you said, this is going to be a very close game in this one. And to me, it's a battle of Michigan's offense or Michigan State's defense. Whoever wins that battle is going to win the game, I feel like. Besides that, Michigan State offense, not so hot. Michigan defense, not so hot. And the line for this game, they do have Michigan State winning this one by 6 points, they are saying, which they are also at home in East Lansing for this one, which they will be next year too, which I don't really understand that one at all. I don't know why they did that, because that conference change.
Yeah.
Truly, this one is a tough one. And I'm going to go by gut feeling. I feel like this is going to come down to the last drive, to tell the truth. But I also believe this is going to be somewhat of a low-scoring game, like last year.
Yes.
I'm going to say it's going to be a 17-14 win for Michigan.
Before I get to my pick, as you probably don't know, I was in Ann Arbor 2 weeks ago against Indiana. Whenever the HD servers get back, Adam and I will show some videos about that. But anyway, wow, has this been a season.
Yeah.
Michigan against Penn State, that was quite a game. Penn State showed that they are somewhat of a strong team, but against Ohio State, they were weak. They were definitely weak.
I thought against Ohio State, they would have showed up a little bit at least. I mean, they played great against Michigan. I don't know, they just got hung over after like a little hangover game after having a big one over Michigan.
And even with the bye week. But I know I'm going to take a little heat by saying this, but well, what if Ohio State played at Penn State's homecoming? Would they have showed up like that? Or would they have had a letdown game like Michigan?
I never know. That's the thing.
So people, the transitive property doesn't work so much in football, as I've been taking a little adversity over that the last couple weeks, as Cole noticed. But anyway, it's going to come down to State's offense. If State's offense shows up like they did against Youngstown State, Indiana, and arguably Illinois, although Illinois is the weakest team in the Big Ten probably. Sadly, I think State wins 21-10. If State's offense goes down the tubes like it did in the beginning of the season and against Iowa, although that's when they started to show up, but really against Purdue, I think Michigan wins this game. And my official pick is going to be Michigan 14, State 10. Gardner will throw a touchdown pass to Jeremy Gallen in the closing seconds to win this game for Michigan. Even though it's in East Lansing. And even though I will probably still take a lot of heat on Facebook and Twitter over this.
We both will, don't worry. We're both going to get something from this. Hope you watch this, Rick. I'll just let you know right now. Don't hate me on the ride tomorrow.
And Adam, Dustin will probably do the same thing. But, God, this is going to be a good game.
It's going to be a really good game. And truly, I could see either team winning this one. It's that good of a game, and I don't know. It's gonna be. Like you said, if Michigan State's offense does show up, they will win this game. I will not deny that one. I think Michigan State has more of the advantage coming into this game.
Because this game is in East
That's
Lansing.
because it's in East Lansing, yes. And I believe that crowd will be into the game.
Yes.
I didn't think the state team would be this. Only have one loss this part of the season. It seems like they'd have more at this time, but
When during my bowl show the last season, I thought State would go 5-7 this year, and it would be just a mess. But the reason why State makes a bowl is now because of their record, because you can't shut out a 7-1 team. But their schedule, and I think you'd probably agree, is a joke. They have not had much of competition except for Notre Dame, and they lost to them. But the next 5 games, not so much.
and
The next 5 games are going to prove if Michigan State is a threat to the national crowd, and the same for Michigan.
Michigan has their next 5 games is all against good teams too. As I believe it's Michigan State,
Northwestern, Nebraska, Iowa, Ohio.
State. Yeah, that proved that is all hard games at the end of the season. Maybe besides Iowa, they are. Iowa's actually doing good this year, aren't they? Yeah, they are doing good this year. I'm thinking of someone else, I guess. But again, Michigan, they're gonna have their hands full. Michigan State's gonna have their hands full, and these two better. This is the game. I feel like whoever wins this game is gonna have great momentum going into those 5 games. Those last 4 games, I should say.
Yes.
As again, this game can go either way. Even though it is in East Lansing, it depends who shows up, and whatever team shows up is gonna win it.
And Michigan will have to score a touchdown this season to beat State, because Brendan Gibbons has been about as big of a question mark as this studio.
Yeah, I don't know. That Penn State game, I don't know what happened to him. He decided he was just down with the nerves or something. The crowd got in his head or something. But
maybe those brunettes on the beach aren't as hot as Brendan Gibbons thinks.
I wonder if they're pulling a Boston, drinking beer on the sidelines.
And eating fried chicken, which sounds good.
It does actually, not gonna lie.
But anyway, so we both think Michigan wins, and yeah. So enjoy the Michigan State game. Should be a great one, even though Garber's playoff game is conflicting with that. Come on, Coach! Come on, man!
And if we will have the game on radio on GreatLakesSportsNetwork.com if you want to listen. I'm one of the broadcasters, so if you want to listen to that, we'll be online for you.
But you never know. Next year it could be you and I doing some broadcasts for Great Lakes Sports Network. But of course, Rick, I'm not so sure if he thinks that, because I'm just a homer for Michigan. But you never know. I've got the talent, and hopefully someone will say, he balls so hard I gotta hire him.
Greene Martin Show.
Yes.
Let's see it.
As we are doing right now. So, enjoy the game this week. We'll see you next time.